All right, what is going on, guys? Crypto Mac here, bringing you another crypto video today. I want to take a look at Fetch.ai, and just want to do a quick update video on this coin. I just realized it's been like a week since I've talked about this coin, so I just want to do a quick discussion, and show a few indicators and a few things I found in the charts. So I just want to say this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. Just looking at it, we can see this big ascending triangle that we broke out of to the downside, mostly had a lot to do with Bitcoin heading to the downside. So not a massive deal, but definitely not ideal. But I mean, we're now trading at 53 cents, which is pretty low. Obviously, we had this top here at $1.19. We basically have come down from where we're at now at 55%, or 58% was our lowest. But it's important to note that like we had a really good run from this point up until there. We see we had a 500% move, and I think sometimes it's really good to zoom out and realize, like, you know, we've had a 500% move, therefore we should be in for a big correction, right? You don't just have 500% moves and then just have an ascending triangle and then have another 500% move. Like, you need big corrections. You need things to happen that you don't expect. You need consolidation periods as well, which we've seen play out. Nice consolidation was really good. It's healthy for FET. So it's good to have consolidation and a nice pullback. But again, it's not ideal that we did break to the downside, but it's not a massive deal. So something to look at is the RSI. I think it's just something that I like to do is when the market is down, it's always good to zoom out. And I think the RSI is very relevant when you've had a really big move. It's important to look at the RSI, and when you've had a pretty bad move, like when you've gone down quite a bit, it can be helpful to look at it and just kind of see what's happened in the charts. And so looking at FET, we can see on the daily, we're almost in oversold territory, about 31, and you can see we've had support here in the past. I can draw a line here to show this is the line, this is the level we're at. So basically, the last time we were at this point was here and here. So let's have a look. So this wick here, I'm on the daily time frame, was a 150% move happened. Mind you, this 150% move only took us to about midway in the RSI. Then we came down even lower, and then was a 90% move here. We come down, we didn't quite get as low, and then we saw this big move of 500%. So pretty much indicating that when we've come down to this level, historically, we've had pretty good moves up, following it. But it might not be instant is another thing to look at. And we can see the same thing play out here when we also hit the level. It was actually back at this point. So in the short term, we had a 60% move and then a big consolidation period. Then we moved up, and you can see massive 1600% move, right? So big moves have followed this low RSI level. And something else to look at is, well, on the logarithmic scale, you can kind of draw this line. If you want, you can take it from the wick and you can kind of connect the dots like this. You can go a bit lower here if you wanted. Connect the dots. You can see that we're right on the line. If we take the wick down here, you can see the support on this line here. 3 or 4 touch points. Then about 2 touch points here. Almost, we didn't quite get there that one. We wicked down here. And now we're currently right on the line. So this is something to look at on the daily. We could probably even pull up the weekly, and this might show it a little better. Yes, this is what we got on the weekly. We're right on here. We're on some, I would argue, some key support, right? I like taking the logarithmic scale, and the logarithmic scale is really good for FET because our symmetrical triangle is looking really good. A lot of touch points, and logarithmic scale is just a good way to look at different indicators. So this is what we got. We're currently right on the line. It's going to be important to see if we hold the line. If we do go below into the 40-cent range, we'll come down and we'll lose a support line. But as to the moment, things look good. The other thing to look at is, again, the weekly RSI. We're right on this level, right? We've seen it happen. We hit this level 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And as I said, this move here was 130%. This one was nearly 100%. And then our last touch point here was where we took off and went 500%. So big moves coming off this RSI. Same story back here. We had a low. It looks actually better here on the weekly time frame. So here was the point. It was at the bottom here, and coming off that, 2000%. From the low to the high was a 2000% move. Absolutely massive, right? Absolutely massive. And this level's at 44, and so it can go lower, right? RSI can get lower. We've seen FET in oversold territory. This is where we saw massive moves. We've seen it go lower, and so like it's not that we have to turn around here because we did here, we have to here, but it's just looking historically at what's happened and shows that this could be what is going to play out. Is we get support on this line, and the RSI goes and heads up. Maybe that's what plays out. It'll be something to look at. The other thing to look at, well, here's the FET Bitcoin chart. I think this is important. I've got it on a logarithmic graph. We can see we're kind of in this. I might just draw this out a bit longer. Like that. So we're kind of in this ascending channel. 1, 2, 3 touches on the upside, and the downside it's 1, 2, 3, and we're almost about to have a fourth one here. If we come down a little more, so it could indicate that we have a little ways to go against Bitcoin. So against Bitcoin means that, you know, Bitcoin might pump and FET might remain at the same price, and that'd bring this down, or Bitcoin might stay the same, FET might go down, that'd bring this down, right? Effectively, FET just performs poorly against Bitcoin, and so we might come down, test some support, and then it could be up, and we could start a big move up again. That could be what plays out. We've seen us touch this line 3 times, and so on a bigger scale, on a more macro scale, you can see maybe this is where we really flip, where FET starts to flip real bullish against Bitcoin. When we could break out of this line to the upside, that'd be really good. This might take months, if not a year. I mean, we're looking at a good, if it's over here, we're looking at a 200% move. 200% move if we touch the line up there and go for a trend like that. I mean, we saw here was pretty parabolic, to be honest. And so we could see something like this play out. 200% move. That's a pretty staggering move. It doesn't just happen overnight. But if we could do that and break out, I think that'd be really good for FET, and would obviously indicate a big move for FET, right, against Bitcoin, which is what you want. You want your altcoins to outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this would be good. And just looking at Bitcoin, we're still trending sideways between 46,000 and 52K. I'll be watching this. Hopefully we head back up and can break above this line and get above the bull market support band as well. That'd be the most ideal scenario. But look, as for FET, I mean, we're sitting on support, right? We're sitting on this support line. The FET Bitcoin evaluation looks decent. We may have a little bit ways to go downward. So we may come down and really test the line, maybe. So we're not actually on it right now. We might just come down this next, another 10%. FET might come down another 10%, which will take it to, you know, 48 cents maybe. 48 cents, really test this line. That'll test this line here probably, and then start to move back up over the next month or two. If we look at this here, from this bottom, it was 50 days. 300% move in 50 days, 53 days. It's not a large amount of time. It's less than 2 months. That'd be a good move for any coin, really. And so that could be what we see here. We could see that play out. And you could also draw the line from here as well. So you can see we're kind of in this channel. This is what we're in at the moment for FET against Tether. So this is we're basically in this ascending channel. We don't want to break to the downside. If we can break to the upside, you know, obviously this is a bearish formation. So if we can break to the upside, that is just extremely bullish. That's probably looking at a very similar thing about 200. Actually, no, it's not. We're looking at about 1,000% move. I mean, that's, yeah, of course, because we're on the logarithmic scale. To get up there, could it get there? Definitely could. Right, it definitely could, but I think that might be a stretch for FET to make 1,000% move. But it definitely is like not off the cards. If it has a parabolic run, if it decides to have a parabolic run, but more realistically, I mean, as I said, we're on the logarithmic scale. So, you know, up here we're talking $23, and to talk about a $23 FET, well, doesn't exactly happen very quickly, right? Let's talk about a 46x. Good luck. That doesn't, unless you have a real parabolic move. But it'd be nice to just trend between this line, just at least get support off this bounce off and head higher. And don't forget about that symmetrical triangle as well. Like we could bounce back into this, which would be good. And we could just go straight through it. I mean, this is only a 72% move to here. We could just like rip straight through this symmetrical triangle and maybe argue this is valid. And then we could head higher. We get a price target of this and head higher. So looking at all this, look, I'm still bullish on FET. I think the market cycle's not finished. I think a lot of coins are going to start to perform well. I think FET will do well. Definitely not financial advice, but as I said, we're holding support in this line. This is going to be a key area of support. I'll do another video if we break through or if we come back up. Definitely do another video on that. And yeah, let me know what you think of FET. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you later. Enjoy.